Good morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you're at, ladies and gents. I am Kura Isagami, your resident tinkerer and Medarotter, and this is the Medarot News Network, bringing you all the latest developments and happenings with our favorite pet fighting robot series. Well, ladies and gentlemen, first episode of 2026, and I'd say we're off to a pretty good start so far. We essentially had a New Year's event kind of carry us over from the very end of 2025 into the new year, and it looks like we're going to be kind of carrying that event just another week longer to kind of really get into the celebration for the new year 2026 and keep things on a fairly quiet note overall. To keep business as usual, most likely in preparation for Medarot S's 6th anniversary, which will be coming up much later this month in January. But regardless of that, it is still going to be very exciting all the same, with a lot of new stuff that will be introduced with the reveal of Derupon, who was introduced in Meta Survivor by the legendary author of Pop Team Epic, Bkub. Yes, that very same author, by the way. I am not pulling your chains. It is the very same Bkub that designed the model here that will be officially making the jump from 2D to 3D with the second half of the New Year's event. But he is bringing a couple of familiar faces with him along the way to make the reveal just a little bit more heartfelt and warm as far as Meta Survivor and Meta S is concerned. But with that being said, let's go ahead and jump right into what was officially announced for this week, starting with the gacha banners on who to expect in this week's lineup for Wave 2 of the 2026 New Year's event. Now, we actually have 3 pickup banners that are going to be going live this week, so it'll be picking up just a little bit as far as number of banners are concerned. But the first model, and the most important of this week, naturally, is BRD0 Derupon, with a kit of Time Bomb, Fight Mine, Shoot Mine, Biped Legs, and Trapper. And as you see here, Derupon will be introducing 2 brand new skills being introduced into the game. And when it comes to being played as the new passive aggression Trapper, I really don't think we're gonna have to look too much farther than Derupon, because I think he's got that niche well past handled. But alongside Derupon, we have a number of other Meta Survivor guests-only exclusives that are going to be making the jump as well that we've seen in previous months. Those include PSG0 Matro Noir, the prison security guard type, with a kit of Short Hammer, Whip, Thunderclaw, Biped Legs, and Clincher, and PCP-02 Barrage Fire, with Mirror Guard, Power Missile, Hyper Power Missile, Wheeled Legs, and Bomber. So it is going to be a mostly a very heavy Meta Survivor-centric week, with the banners going live this week and what we can expect in the overall event with Wave 2. Now, for the boosted rates that'll be spread across all 3 of the pickup banners specifically. Those include CKN0 Crimson King, the original mass poultry aviary model of mass destruction, with triple destroy, flight legs, and elusive. And we also have CHR0 Pom Pom Mate, with stat cleanse, tornado, gatling, biped legs, and mascot. Though it is also worth noting that both of these boosted rates also were relatively well known as fodder models in Meta Survivor as well, so it is nice to see the coherency there. So ultimately, it's not going to be very exciting as far as anything new or game-breaking this week, but it is still going to be very nice all the same. And if any of the models are particularly down your alley, well, you have plenty of options you can choose from as well through the second half of the New Year's 2026 event. For the Fierce battles we have going on this week, it's going to be a very mixed utility week, mostly with a lot of very beginner-friendly models, either as parts to have or pure sets to invest in across the board. On the top row, we're starting with PCP0 Warheadly, the original Porcupine type from Medarot Navi, with Optic Guard, Double Napalm, Tink Legs, and Heavy Arms. We have GBK0 Melody Beat with Super Repair, Wave, Missile, Multi-Legs, and All-Rounder. And BTA0 Mekong Narob with Guard Boost, Double Provoke, Sea Legs, and Blowbeat. On the bottom row, we have FSK0 Jinban Fairy with Charge Plant, Double Claw, Flight Legs, and Snow Type. RAY04 Arago Star with Triple Beam, Wheeled Legs, and Excel. and KAP-01 Kappa-Lord with Beam, Double Anti-C, Sea Legs, and Forester. So like I said, really heavy emphasis on beginner-friendly and a lot of utility-based parts that are available this week. Mostly between just 1 or 2 parts across them that can make some very good use in the right teams. Examples include Warheadly with tank legs and heavy arms, kind of comping on a lot of the bulk that does slow a lot of tank legs down. Melody Beat kind of just as your all-rounder based on how you need to fill in a role. Mekong Naro kind of for your budget aggro shield if you do need it for anything. Jinban Fairy will probably be the MVP of the week primarily, mostly on the grounds of flight legs with snow type, and given that reason that snow is a very difficult terrain to have mastery on without opening yourself up to another type of weakness, it is always good to have another leg type that has mastery in it to kind of give yourself an extra edge. Erigo Star probably will have the least amount of the use of 6 in my opinion, because Beam, while nice, is kind of there. It doesn't have any added effects, no piercing, no AoE or anything, so probably won't be seeing too much use with him, unfortunately. But Kappa Lord may also have some utility with Anti-C if you need it, and of course Sea Legs with another terrain mastery, in Forest no less, if you do need it for anything. For Wave 2 of the New Year's event, though, it is going to be kind of picking up right where the Week 1 left off, with a massive dump of previous event-only medals and event-only models that are going to be going live in the event shop. Now, as a friendly reminder, this is a continuation of last month's technically last month, now if I want to be technical about it, but last week's ticket-based event. So bonuses will stack per part. There is no real need to go pure sets if you can't manage it. But as you see here, I'm just gonna kind of go through breeze through this list here of medals and models that you see that are on the docket. So for Wave 2, we have the opportunity for the Seahorse medal, which is shooting, support, and defense with multi-flight and sea legs. We have the Master medal with support, healing, and setup with legs of biped, float, and sea. The Royal medal, which is a melee, healing, and defense with biped, floating, and tank. The Prince medal with melee, shooting, and setup. Hold on, here's 1 second. With biped, tank, and flight legs. The Princess medal with melee, healing, and defense with biped, multi, and sea legs. The Question Mark medal with melee, shooting, and defense with multi, tank, and float. And the Griffin medal with shooting, support, and healing, and biped, tank, and float legs. Now, for the models that are concerned, we have a lot of really good parts that can be collected between these 5 models as well. But just to go through those briefly as well, we have LWT-0 Me Leviathan with Hold, Double Static, Sea Legs, and Rumbling. BHM-0 Chi Behemoth with Stat Cleanse, Double Break, Tank Legs, and Heavy Arms. CCC-0 Yellow Crick with Field Control, Double Bug, Biped Legs, and Straight. We have FIR-0 Mary Cree with Triple Canceller, Float Legs, and Holy Grace. And CTR-0 Ku Centaurus with Shoot Boost, Gatling, Rifle, Multi-Legs, and Aim. So lots of really good parts and obviously really good medals that you want to pick up on. And I'm going to very strongly encourage, if you missed out on any of these, make sure you collect them, because the more parts you have and the more medals you have especially means more mastery and more flexibility you can have with team builds as you're putting things together. So again, this week's event will be the second half of last week's ticket event, so nothing really to focus on too much there, aside from farming for what you need and then collecting the rewards that you missed out on. For Meta Survivor, though, it is going to be extremely quiet there, as it's just going to be a reset and refresh of the Omega Stag and Answai events. So nothing really to report on there as far as new stuff is concerned, or any new models that are incoming, no guest artist or anyone else that's going to be tuning in this week, so pretty much just business as usual. So if you are playing or keeping up with that, don't expect too much. Collect your resources or save them however you see fit, and then just kind of work your way through it to collect this week's tier of rewards. But moving on, though, since that was basically everything for as far as Meta S and Meta Survivor are concerned, there was no word on the Meta Labyrinth mechanic that was teased last week. So most likely they'll probably be saving that closer to the 6-year anniversary for Meta S, but that is all speculation until we actually hear something. Moving aside from that, though, as far as the community is concerned, we are always looking for translators or any help to assist with any of our ongoing projects or endeavors. This includes the Medarot 4 translation that is currently ongoing, the Medarot Reloaded, or any manga translations, but there was a new piece of information that was revealed this last week that I probably will start adding to my usual weekly highlights on this, and that is an individual in our Discord server that has just picked up the endeavor to pick up and start up the translation endeavors again for Medarot 9 for the 3DS. So the dump has been collected and translation is still extremely early on, but if you are knowledgeable in coding or cleaning or Japanese, or if you know somebody that is, definitely feel free to join our Discord or send them our way and we can get you filled in on what still needs done. Additionally, if you do not have any talent to offer or know anybody, you can also donate to the cause and we can contribute some of those extra lines of text to be commissioned and translated on our behalf. And that alone will be massively helpful with helping the translators and focus more on cleaning and typesetting. So again, feel free to join the Discord, ask around, or even reach out to me and I'll forward you along to anyone that does need the assistance, or anyone else that is possibly in need of any kind of help or support in any way, either financially or whether with actual translation efforts. One final note before I do wrap us up, as a reminder, I am also on Cards, so if you would like to reach out to me or see any of my socials, that is the best place you will see it. Link provided here and also in the description. You can also find my commission services there as well if you'd like to see what I offer, between standard art, live 2D models ready to rig, my Bkub 64 models, and so on. That's the best place that you will see everything there, including my rates. So if you have any questions on that, you can take a look at that and then reach out to me on any of the socials if you have any further questions. But with that being said, though, that does basically cover everything for this week's episode. So like I said, fairly light as far as content is concerned, mostly just a bunch of reset and rerun rewards from previous events and through the year of 2025. So if you already have a lot of it, it's going to be a very nice recoup week, but I do highly expect that things will pick up for Medarot S's 6th anniversary closer to the end of January. So we will have to see about that as time goes on. But if you'd like to know more, you can follow us below on Facebook at the Medarot News Network page or the Metabots Forever public Facebook community that is currently now over 51,000 members and growing. You can also join us in Discord in the link provided and in the comments below to keep an even closer ear to the ground on the action. This includes any new links to merchandise, fan art, contests, my weekly episodes, or anything else of the like. That is the first place you will hear it before it goes anywhere else on the net. And you can also reach out to me personally on Twitter, Blue Sky, or Discord, or whatever your social media platform of choice is, at Isagamikura. Questions, feedback, comments, commissions, if you want to collaborate with me, or anything else the like, that is the first place you will see. You can reach out to me before anywhere else I can get in contact with you. But with all that being said, as always, I do appreciate you all for stopping in, just as you always do. And until next time, this is your host, Kura Isagami of the Medarot News Network, signing out.